Hello everybody. Welcome to another live stream. I hope you're all doing well, that you're all having a good day. Ooh, problem. Okay. My voice is super quiet. That's not what we want. So I'll turn this back up. But you still hear the music. Okay, is that okay? I can't hear the music anymore. I have the music completely muted in my ears. I have the levels set differently, so I have the music quieter than what you guys are hearing, because I don't like listening to music when I'm talking. I get all like confused, especially because the stupid ads come on. But hopefully the music's not too loud for all of you. I am, double audio, what the hell? Why is there double audio? Hold on. Hold on. Everybody hold on. Hold on to your pants. What does it sound like? Weird echo. What is the weird echo happening here? Okay, there. Did that fix it? Nope, still double. Okay, and now I do this. Can you hear me? Okay, so you can hear me there. Oh, you know what I think it is? I think I know what it is. Yeah, it's still doubled, right? Oh, that is so weird. If I mute the chat, it mutes it completely, but then it also mutes it in my, it also mutes it, hold on, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Okay, is it doubled now? Hello, Felipe? It's still doubled. What the heck is going on? Hello, Felipe. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for popping in. So the problem is the way I have the roads, because if I turn off the music, all of a sudden it's fine, right? Yeah, so something is going on in the road part that's going into the wavelink, and I can't figure out what the heck it is. Yeah, it's not, because this is actually the voice changer.
Oh, Shark, if I knew that, I should change my voice, right?
Yeah, so the voice changer is actually working. It's the not voice changer that's not working.
Oh, interrupting their playlist to talk about defying gravity, are we?
That's so weird. Okay, so right now I have the voice changer, because I'm using Wavelink and I have two inputs. Right now this is just the voice changer and the music should be off. If I turn off my voice and turn on the music,
2024 Bronco family models.
so you could hear the music but couldn't hear me, right? And now, if I leave the mic on and turn on the music, all of a sudden my voice is doubled again, right?
For paying down my card balance. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. So for some reason, when the music is turned on, my voice is doubled. But when the music is turned off, my voice is fine. So it's the voice link sending the audio doubled somewhere, and I don't know where. Is it this, maybe? Did that fix it? There we go. Okay. So why did I have that turned on? It's working. You have sound, you have my voice. So I guess it's working now? I don't actually know. That was really weird. That was really, really weird. Okay, I think we're good. Hello, everybody. I am sorry for the mess up, like we even said at the beginning. If it's no issue, then it's not a retro stream for sure. We're gonna be playing Ocarina of Time. It says it in the title and the thumbnail and the description. We're gonna be playing Ocarina of Time, 3-heart challenge. And basically what happens is I play Ocarina of Time. I only have 3 hearts. I am not picking up any of the heart containers or anything, so we stay with 3 hearts through the whole time. Yeah. Yep. Literally on YouTube, and it says right there, Ocarina of Time 3-heart challenge. Hello, Ozzy. How's it going? Welcome. How are you? And Twitch doesn't have a thumbnail. YouTube does. TikTok doesn't have a thumbnail. Only YouTube does. So when I said it was in the description, and the title and the thumbnail, I was specifically talking about YouTube, because Twitch also doesn't have a description, and neither does TikTok. But yes, we are playing Ocarina of Time today. We're doing the 3-heart challenge, and we're going to continue with that. We just got to the Forest Temple, and the Forest Temple, it's really weird that I can't hear the music. I'm like all worried that the music's not on. Anyways, the Forest Temple, we just started. We got the hook shot, and we got inside the Forest Temple, and that's where we've stopped. So now we're going to discover the Forest Temple, and it's going to be really fun. Ooh, some coffee before you play. Nice. Or are you saying me having coffee? I'm actually having tea. It's very hot though. But it's like a spiced apple, so it's like eating a liquid apple pie. It's really yummy. Okay. So yummy. Sorry, I was just reading. We have rehearsals tonight, and I was just reading what my friend was saying. Yes. Hello, Lotto. Nice to see you. I never actually used this mug. It is my, I'm using the lens that doesn't autofocus. It is my Breath of the Wild mug. I'm not a huge fan of Breath of the Wild, but I've been drinking a lot of tea on the stream because, I've like gotten bad habits as a singer over the last few years because I haven't been singing, and now when I do a stream my voice gets really tired, so I've been like trying to drink tea while I'm on stream to keep my voice relaxed so I'm not hurting, especially because I have to rehearse tonight and we're doing a full read of the whole show, so a lot for us to do, and so I want to kind of protect my voice, so I've been drinking a lot of tea, and I have some regular mugs, but when I was resetting my router, because there was an issue with my internet, I was resetting my router, I saw that I had this mug in that room. I have multiple mugs, like a whole bunch of mugs, but I don't like using them because then you start washing them and they start to fall apart. And so I haven't used this mug because I liked it, and it used to be on my shelf, and like I used to put things in it and whatever. But that shelf is now in the spare room, and I don't really use it ever. And so I saw it and I was like, this is a really, really big mug, so it'll give me a lot of tea to drink. So I like it. It's great. The sound of sipping. Hold on. There you go. Some ASMR right there. Yeah, I have my retro mug, but I didn't want to, like I wanted a big tea today, so I didn't use it because it's too small. I wish it was a big mug. I do like that mug though a lot. I really like my retro mug. I need to make another design and get another one. But yeah, so we're gonna continue with the 3-heart challenge. I was having some tech difficulties with the sound for the Wii. I don't know what was going on, but I think we're set now, so we should be good to go. I also brought back the other camera and I set it up. I don't know if it's gonna work. Sometimes the camera freezes, sometimes it doesn't. We'll find out in a second, and hopefully everything will work the way that we want. So I guess we'll get started. In the gutter hole. In the gutter hole. It's always too small, Weeman. You're talking to me. there was a part in the song that we learned last week. It's like the first big number that introduces all the characters in the show, and we were singing it. And then there's a part where me and 2 other guys have to sing. Oh, what do we have to sing? Oh, we have to sing Ding Dong. And when we said it, the music director, she was like, and that's a really big dong. And I'm like, what if you don't have a big dong? I'm a good actor, but I'm not that good of an actor. She like went so beet red and started laughing so hard because she wasn't expecting me to say that, because she made a bunch of dirty jokes the whole time, but I was being really quiet, and then I said that and she found it really funny. Yeah, I have one of those, Ozzy. It's dirty because I used it at the audition and I haven't washed it yet. I do have one of those, but it keeps the tea way too hot for way too long. It's supposed to hold the heat for about 8 hours. It doesn't last a full 8 hours. It's closer to, well, I mean, if I didn't open it at all, maybe it would last 8 hours. I was drinking it throughout the day, but it stayed piping hot for at least a good 5 hours. So I don't like using it when I'm sitting at the stream, because the stream will be done and I haven't drank any because it's way too hot. But yeah, it was fun. It's a lot of fun. The show is really fun, and everybody that's in it is really fun. So I'm excited to keep doing it. We got rehearsals today. That's why I was reading those messages, because my friend and I were just talking about the show, and she and I have to be there all evening. We're gonna read the whole play today with everybody, so it's gonna be interesting, because I've listened to the song I'm supposed to be singing and I don't know it, so there's gonna be some weird bumps. But the guy that I'm teamed up with, like we're 2 gangsters that are together all the time. The guy that I'm teamed up with is very, very proactive, and so he like basically has memorized the music already. I don't listen to music all day. One, because I can't, because of the tism, but 2, I just don't like to listen to pre-recordings, because then I learn their bad habits. Not bad habits, but I learn their unique way of singing the song, which then teaches me bad habits. And then when I go to try to learn it with the music director, I will just fall back and do what the other singer did, and I don't want to mimic the other singer. I want to make it my own. Downside being is the guy that I'm with will know all of it, and so I will be frustrating to him because I will have to learn it and he wants to just move forward. So today's going to be interesting because I won't know the song and he will, and we're supposed to sing it together. So that'll be interesting. Yeah, it's actually really fun. I'm really enjoying it. Yesterday we had a rehearsal for a song that my friend sings, Catherine, for a song that she sings, and it's her whole song. We're the backup singers, and it was really fun. It was also really nice. I've said it many times, but I've dealt with a music director recently that was not recently, but the last music director I dealt with was convinced that I couldn't sing, was convinced that I didn't have the range that I have. Range, for those who don't sing, is like how high and how low you can go, and was adamant that I couldn't do half the stuff I was supposed to be doing as my like character role in the show. Jack, how's it going? How are you? How are things? I can't see your image, so I'm assuming, is this Jack like Mod Jack, or is this a different Jack? But yeah, so like my range, I'm a tenor, right? I'm a tenor, and not Mod Jack. Okay. Just because I have a different Jack that has like pops in once in a while now. Used to be here all the time, and they were a mod. How are you? I just wasn't sure if it was you. How have you been? How's life? What have you been up to? I'm doing well. Just getting ready to start the stream. I'm just having a bit of a chat before I get started. You've been like, you're also a tenor. Nice, Ozzy. Like you've performed in a Broadway musical, or you went and watched a Broadway musical. But yeah, so like I I'm a tenor. I've always been a tenor. I'm a lyrical tenor technically, which I don't know enough about music because I am not musically trained. Everything I learned is by myself. But from what I've been told by my fiance, who is a professional opera singer, a lyrical tenor is the rarest type of tenor, and it is the tenor that in the opera world is basically guaranteed work for the rest of their life. I didn't study opera, so I kind of missed out on a giant opportunity, which kind of sucks. But you know, I have quite a voice. Now, I haven't been singing in about 10 years consistently, so my voice is not what it used to be. It can get back to what it was, but it's not there yet. And this music director was very adamant that I was not a singer, that I wasn't a tenor. He was adamant that I was a baritone. Now, I do speak lower than I sing, but that was because when I was younger, I used to talk like this because I wanted to be cool. I wanted to sound, you know, more manly or whatever. So this is more my natural speaking voice. Now, when I'm on stream, it is slightly affected or affected. I take on a slight affect to give it more energy so I'm heard easier on stream, even though there's a microphone, just so I don't sound boring. Because like if I talk regular energy, I talk like this, and so it sounds pretty low energy and bored. So I put on a little bit more energy so I sound better. So I do talk deep, and he was adamant that I was a baritone. So it's really nice. The reason I'm saying all this is anytime there was like harmonies that were being done, I'm usually the top tenor. And he wouldn't allow me to do top tenor. He would almost always suggest I do the baritone line. And it was really frustrating because they had two top tenors, but one of them, or they had two tenors that were taking the top line, but one of them was really, really soft at singing. The other one is not a tenor. He would do it all in falsetto. And so it was really frustrating for me that he wouldn't allow me to sing within my range and forced me to sing down lower. Reason I'm saying all this is because now in this show, the music director not only is relying on me to do the top tenor line, she's letting me do optional top tenor lines that are written in, but she wasn't planning to put them in. And she constantly makes sure she reassures the fact that she trusts that I'm doing it well. And she has even like said she's so glad that I'm there because me and my partner are both tenors, but he is a false tenor. Like he goes into a falsetto, but his falsetto sounds almost like full voice, and so he can sing the tenor lines, but he's struggling with them. He wants to go lower all the time, and so he usually sings the lower tenor, and then I go up to the higher tenor. So she's glad that she has me there to sing that because the only other two tenors are not strong singers, and so you know the tenor line can be kind of complicated sometimes. So it feels really nice to actually be acknowledged that I can sing and to not have somebody question every moment that I'm singing. It's quite nice. It's quite nice. So I'm having a lot of fun.
Bronco family models. Visit your Ontario Ford store or Ford.ca.
You performed on Broadway. Cool. What did you do? What did you perform on Broadway? And life is pretty good. Nice. You got a job as a climber. Cool. I'm sorry, I didn't see your message. I hope you're still there. I don't know if you are. What does a job as a climber entail? Like, are you doing like rescue climbing, or do you work for a company and you climb kind of like promotionally? Like you go out and climb and then that gets some news and then the news gets them more money? Or like what do you do climbing wise? Or do you like work at like a climbing facility where people come and climb and you help them and you instruct and all that kind of stuff? If you're still there, I'm so curious to find out. Climbing instructor. Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's cool. I've only ever tried climbing once as like a really young kid. Like I must have been under 10 years old, and I thought it was so cool. But I grew up like really, really, really poor, and so that wasn't something that you could really do. So the school had taken us because we were part of like the inner city poor school. They had taken us to a place and they took us to do like a small climbing wall. And I thought it was so cool. Now my fat butt would never be able to because I'm so fat and out of shape. But I think that's really cool. I think climbing is really awesome. I don't have the guts to do some of the crazy stuff that some climbers do, but I think climbing is really cool. That's awesome. Yeah, I appreciate you popping in. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to chat a little bit more about what you're doing, but that's awesome. Congratulations on the new job. I'm glad it's something that you enjoy, and I hope you have a really good time doing it. But thank you for popping in. It was really nice of you. You were in Beauty and the Beast as Cogsworth and Les Mis. That's cool. Nice. One of my friends was on Broadway quite a bit until he passed away. And yeah, Broadway's a big deal. Broadway's a real big deal. Eth, hello. The rehearsal was good. Rehearsal was good. We were just singing the backup stuff for our lead singer. For that song, it was her song. It was her solo, and it was good. It's really hard because it's a lot of like jazzy chords, so there's a lot of dissonance in the voice, and almost everything that I had to sing was the dissonant note because I was the higher, like the upper tenor. And it was really challenging. It was really challenging, especially because the piano player wasn't playing the piano. She was just playing what we were singing instead of like the backup music. So it was hard to kind of pick our notes out of the air, but it was fun. It was really fun. Sorry, I'm just answering. But yeah, it was a good rehearsal. We have another one today, and today is the proper read through of the whole show. Hold on. But yeah, so we're gonna do the 3-heart challenge. That should be really fun, and we're gonna move on with that, and hopefully it'll be a good time. I don't know. Give me a sec here. I'm very distracted today. Very, very distracted today. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Anyway, yeah, so we're gonna do the 3-heart challenge, and it should be fun. Hopefully the sound doesn't screw up. You can still hear my voice changer, right?
If I do this, do I still sound like a different person?
Must have gotten really loud all of a sudden, though. I don't like why it got so loud. That was really loud. Maybe I can just turn it down on. No, but if I turn that down, it's gonna turn it down on everything. Sound like an anime girl? Okay. It's so weird to me because when I put on the voice changer, it doesn't sound like what it says it is. That's supposed to be an anime girl. So if it sounds like it, then great. To me, it didn't sound like it, but if it sounds like it to you, then I'm very happy with that. What if I turn this up? Does that turn up my voice? Okay, so it turned up my voice there, but if I do the voice changer...
Is the voice changer all the...
it's pretty close to the same volume, I guess. Okay, so if I do that, and then I turn it down here, I just don't want the volume to like change in between voice changers, and then have it like pop in your ears too much.
So now if I do it up...
So it should be roughly the same volume now, so we should be good. Okay. But yeah, it says it's an anime girl. To me, when I hear it, I'm like, it just sounds robotic and doesn't sound like an anime girl. But if you say it does, then it's obviously accurate because I didn't tell you what sound I was using, so it worked. So I'm happy with that. Okay, so let me start setting all this up because I've been chatting and been a little bit distracted, but we are good to go. And let's get going. Oh, I must have turned... Did I turn... No, the music's still going, right? Now it stopped. Okay. And now we have gameplay audio and me. And we should be good. I've just got a bunch of audio showing, so I'm just gonna hide the stuff I don't want to see. Okay. We're good. Voice changer sounds good. Same loudness. Okay, good. Okay, I think we're good. So let me... So the game is on. Oh yeah, this other one didn't change. Haha. There we go. TikTok now is changed. And yeah, I changed the camera, but I don't like it. It's really, really angled. Like I'm looking so sideways right now. I don't like it too much. I'm gonna put the other one back on. Okay, that's better. The other one's just looking way too sideways. I'm gonna have to move the camera around a little bit, but I'll do that later. I don't want to do that now. All right. Is the game too loud or is it okay, do you think? I think it might be a hair loud. That's a bit better, I think. Okay. And now let me... That scared me. I forgot you'd hear the horse. Okay. Show only 2. So I'm turning off this monitor, turning on this monitor. Now popping up everything I can see to make sure I know what's happening with all of you because, you know, we want to make sure the stream is working. And the chat. It's better now. Should I still turn it down a little bit more or is that okay? Especially like when I'm talking more than anything because that's the bigger issue. I just don't want it to be like my voice is just barely louder than the game. It might be. It looks like it might be a little bit. Okay, maybe that's a bit better. I hope that's a bit better. Okay, and now this monitor. It's balanced. Okay, good. Good. That's what I care about. Oh, wait, is this not plugged in? I don't think this monitor's plugged in. No, it's not. Give me a sec. I unplugged it. Hold on. I gotta plug it in now. Dang it. I'm so disorganized. Oh. Uh-oh. Something happened. Hold on a sec. Something happened. Where's my mouse? Yes, it's supposed to be the forest temple. Except if nothing happens, then I don't know. I gotta see. Maybe I can fix it. Hope I can fix it. Please let me fix it. Where's the gameplay? Console capture. Razor. Deactivate. Activate. Still no signal. There is music though, so it's working. It's just not. Okay, it's working on the screen now. So maybe I can reset it here and we'll be good. Oh, this is always such a headache. Using half broken stuff is a lot more trouble than it should be. You should be able to just use broken stuff and be fine. How dare they make things break that don't work when they're broken? They should totally work when they're broken. Okay, we're good. You can see me. I can see you. You can hear the game. I think. Let's find out. Itchy nose. Yeah. Okay, we're good. We're good. It's all working. It's all working. Now let me get the chat back up so I can actually see what you all are saying. I can't see the TikTok chat, so I apologize if you guys chatted at all. I don't think anybody did, but just in case, I am apologizing anyway. All right. I can't see you. No, I can't, but I can see your name. All right. No, it's not OBS. It's my capture card. So I have 3 capture cards. Technically, I have 5 capture cards hooked up to my computer right now. I've got one for this camera, one for the other camera. Then I've got 2 capture cards built into the computer, and then I've got the Razer Ripsaw. Now the Razer Ripsaw was my original capture card, but the sound driver started to die on it, and now it like causes a bunch of distortion. No, I've got 6 capture cards plugged in. It causes distortion, but I'm using my Wii, and my Wii only has component cables, and my Ripsaw is the only capture card I have with component cables, but it has no sound. And so I've got the video from the Ripsaw coming in, which is what you're seeing, but the audio is going into another capture card, which is made for like old NES and N64 consoles and converts it to HDMI. And then I've got that capture card. Or no, that's not a capture card, so it's only 5. That's only a converter. It converts it from like the analog signal to the HDMI signal. And then I've got that HDMI signal going into one of my capture cards to pick up the audio. But because the Ripsaw is dying, if I plug or unplug anything that has a signal that goes either into it or out of it, it freezes everything, which is what happened. I plugged in the video, like the HDMI out from the Ripsaw so I could see the signal on my monitor. And when I did that, it froze the Ripsaw. So I had to just reset the Ripsaw. It's old. I do need to buy another capture card, but 1, I don't have the money to, and 2, they don't really sell decent capture cards with component cables, so I'm kind of stuck right now. So yes, I did come through WeWin. Like it went through to my PayPal, but for some reason, Streamlabs did not work. And now it actually shows it now on my Streamlabs, like my recent events or whatever. It shows from yesterday now, but it didn't show it all yesterday. So something either happened with OBS where it was frozen, or it was Streamlabs that just the server was down and wasn't doing anything, because it's there now. Yes, so I appreciate it, Weevan. Thank you. I'm sorry it didn't work, which is like really stupid. I don't even know why it didn't work, but I'm gonna, Joseph subscribed yesterday, so this is yesterday's. I just want to see if it's still playing. Ooh, I got double sound for that. Whatever, I got double sound. I don't care. I'm not gonna mess with it anymore. We're just going. We're just doing it. But yes, Weevan, I appreciate it. More than ever now, because it's actually helping me now. Before it was just like money that I could put towards the channel. Now it's like money so I can eat. Like yesterday's jump scare paid for dinner. Okay, so we did do the forest temple, right? So how did we end up here? I guess because I saved? I don't actually know. What is the forest temple song? No, is that? No, that's not it. That's the Bolero one, right? That's the one in the fire temple. What's this one? A, up, left, right, left, right. Okay. That's what it is. Patty, it's been a hot minute. How are you? I hope you're doing well. I hope life is treating you well. Yes. By the way, I'm gonna see Muse. I can't think of who Muse is or what Muse is. What is that, Weevan? Okay. Ba, 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 ba. It's a band. Oh, okay. Do I know Muse? I don't think I know Muse. The name kind of sounds familiar, but I'm not positive. I don't actually know if I've ever heard anything that they've done. It was either them or Linkin Park. I don't know how to feel about Linkin Park anymore. When I was in high school, I really, really liked Linkin Park. Now, mind you, I went to a school where like hip hop was the bigger thing, so I didn't listen to a lot of Linkin Park. I only liked Linkin Park because they had a little bit of hip hop with the guy rapping. But now with like the new singer and all the controversy that happened, I don't know how I feel about it. Hey, Night Owl, how's it going, man? Seen him live 3 or 4 times. Nice. You've also seen Linkin Park? Awesome. That's so cool. I have a friend who works as like a special effects artist, and he did one of the Saw movies. He did the one that I don't remember his name. I always want to say his name is Chuck, but I know his name is not Chuck. Whatever his name is. The guy who was the singer of Linkin Park. Chester, that's it, Chester. I always want to say Chuck. Chester, he said he was really, really cool, but he got to do the makeup where like he's stuck to the seat and he pulls away and his skin comes off. I know him. We are not friends. I'm friends with his daughter, and it was really cool getting to like talk to him and hear about that. He also worked on Silent Hill, one of the Silent Hill movies. I don't know which one, but one of the Silent Hill movies. No Chester, no Linkin Park, right? Yeah, I think it was Saw 3D. Because they also did that thing where the people were in like that public square and they had to get the key, but they were gonna like chop each other in half or whatever. And he did the special effects for that as well. Like he was the one that designed that whole box and all that. And that was done downtown Toronto. And he was saying it was so hard because people wanted to see what was happening and people were getting shocked. And if I recall, some of the reactions were real. I can't remember anymore. I can't remember what the story was that he told me about that, but he did like talk about it and talk about how he designed it and stuff. It was really cool talking to the guy. But how are you, Night Owl? Oh, okay. So you've only ever seen a cover band of Muse before, but now you're gonna go watch like the proper Muse band perform. That's always such a cool feeling. Now I don't listen to a lot of Western music. Western as in like anything that is world renowned, you know? Like you may not speak English, but you would probably have at least heard of Linkin Park or heard one of their songs on the radio somewhere. Kind of like how Michael Jackson's just in everything. And so I've never really watched one of those bands perform, but I have had that happen with like bands from back home where like I've heard covers of their music. And then when I got to actually watch them, it was wild to see. It was like the coolest feeling in the world to see a band that maybe I grew up with or a band that I just really loved as a kid and then get to see the real people on stage performing and watching them sing. So cool. One of the best stage shows. See, that's really cool. That's really cool. I love when bands put on a good performance. One of the things that I learned very early on with my music career, because those who don't know, I was a touring Latin musician, was people don't care how perfect you play the music. People care how good the show is. And now the reason they taught me that wasn't necessarily about like putting on a spectacle with like fancy lights and fire and all that kind of stuff. It had more to do with teaching us about how important sound engineering is, because you know, we were a small band, we were a family band, we weren't like, you know, professionals that have been playing for 20 years. None of us ever took lessons or anything, so of course there were mistakes, but the guy that was helping us saw that we would get really anxious whenever we made a mistake. And then he was going on about how like never cheap out on sound, because you can play poorly and have phenomenal sound and people will love it. You could also play amazingly and have real crap sound and everybody's going to hate it. So it was like the importance of the show is more important than your actual playing of the instrument. Now, obviously, you're not going to go up there and just like strum all the wrong notes and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, if you make a mistake here and there, no one's really going to care. So it's really cool when you hear of bands that put on big performances and have like cool sets that they use and stuff. Like, that's awesome. Wait, I don't have a key. Wait, I don't have a key. Oh, wait, do you give it to me? Maybe you give it to me. Dude. Key? No key. I can't use the slingshot right now. I can't. But that's super cool. I hope you have a good time. I hope you have a really good time. That's cool. That's really cool. Iron Maiden felt like you were watching a theater show. Really? That's awesome. That's the funny thing to me that I've always found very interesting. I mean, not always, not my whole life, but I've found it interesting ever since I got into theater. Was these bands like Iron Maiden, like Kiss, the Ozzy, all these people, their whole thing is about how like badass and edgy they are, and how much like they can insult people and they can like make people feel gross and freaked out and all that kind of stuff. And they're like literally theater nerds. Like they put on the most theatrical performances with the makeup and the costumes and all this stuff. And it's like, you're theater nerds. You're literally theater nerds. But they're supposed to be like these edgelords. And I always love it because it's like, no, man, even the edgiest people are still theater nerds. They just found a different way to be theater nerds. I'm not sure. We'll see how I feel by the time I get there. Crazy days. We'll see. Okay, so seeing as I don't have the bow yet, I guess I can't do this area yet, maybe? Because I need the key, and I don't have the key yet. Kiki bro, not too much. Not too much. We're finally started. Here just hanging out, playing some Forest Temple. Only been playing it for like 5 minutes, so not too crazy. You like the N64 border? I didn't design that. I just took it off the internet. Somebody else designed it. But yeah, I appreciate that. I tried to make it look okay without the ugly black borders the whole time. I think it looks okay, so I'm glad you like it. Ow, itchy nose. Waves in Games, hello, how you doing? You just played it in June. What did you think? I don't know how old you are, so I can't like fully assume how you went into it, but not knowing the game, obviously you're playing it now, so you've been exposed to modern games that have much more modern styles of doing things. How did you feel playing this? Because a lot of us older farts have a lot of nostalgia built in this game, and we have a harder time being able to look past the nostalgia, because to us it's still just like this glorious game, but obviously it's like an empty world. There's not a whole bunch to do. Oh, you're 37. Okay, so you're around my age. So then you grew up knowing this kind of stuff. Not having played it until now, how did you feel? I don't know if I said you're the same age as me, but you're almost the same age as me. You played it when you were about 10 or 11? I watched my cousin play it when I was about probably 10. But I didn't play it until I was about 16. And I was so mad because my dad, like I've said it already, we were poor growing up. And so we would get one gift at Christmas and basically one gift for our birthday. And that was it. Like we didn't really get a bunch of stuff. And so normally it's like Christmas would be the video game gift. And the one year when I was already in high school, he took us to Boxing Day. I think they have Boxing Day in the UK, but for American friends, Boxing Day is like Black Friday, or was like Black Friday, but it's the day after Christmas. And he took us because they put a bunch of stuff on sale. And the N64 was already on the way out. Like the GameCube had already been out and stuff. And they had N64s and they were on sale. So we got an N64 and we got the Pac-Man game. But eventually I bought Majora's Mask. I don't remember if I bought Ocarina of Time though. But I remember I was so happy. We lived in a house that was a triplex. So it was 3 apartments, but my parents bought the house with my aunt. Eventually she moved out and then we made the whole house into just a giant house instead of it being a duplex or a triplex. But the basement, we sealed it off because we didn't need the basement. And so we had an entrance on the outside and we turned that into like where my dad kept his tools for his mechanic work and then where we kept our video games and stuff. And one night someone broke into the downstairs and stole our N64 with all the games and everything. And I was so upset because I loved Majora's Mask. But yeah, I didn't really sit down to play these games until I was about 16, 17. Ah, yeah, waves and guns. That's a big thing. Like that's one of the things I like about streaming is I am not someone who can sit and play through a full game unless the game is insanely hooking for me, or if nothing else comes out. Because I have a really bad habit that if a game comes out, I want to play it, and then I forget about the game I was just playing. And by the time I get back, I don't remember what I'm doing. But if I restart it, I get bored. So it's I kind of shoot myself in the foot. But streaming forces me to play through the games for the most part. I don't always do it because if the game isn't getting a lot of viewers and people aren't liking it, if I'm not enjoying the game while I'm streaming because either I'm not paying attention or, you know, it's too boring for me to do while I'm streaming, then I won't beat the game. But yeah, streaming really forces me to try to beat the games that I put on. You had to borrow it from a friend for a week or two to play it. Yeah. See, I didn't have any friends that had it. My cousin had it, but the friends that I grew up with were all incredibly poor. So they, you know, lived on government assistance. So they didn't have consoles. And then my cousin was rich, but he was a spoiled brat. So there was no way he wasn't rich. They were also not great with money, but he was an only child. His parents spoiled him rotten. So he was never going to lend me anything like that. But I did get to play a little bit when I would go to his house in the summer. But yeah, no, we never had multiple consoles. It was always the one console, and either we would trade it in to get the next console, or my parents would send our old console back home for my cousins or whatever, because they couldn't afford to buy anything. So we always only ever had one. So yeah, we were Nintendo kids, and then we eventually went into PlayStation. Like I got a GameCube when I was a teenager. So we went Nintendo, Super Nintendo, then it was PlayStation 1, then I got a GameCube, and then eventually we got a PS2, and then by that point we were working and stuff, so then my brother bought a PS3, and then I bought a 360, and it was like that. But yeah, growing up, it was like one console, and that was it. And like even the Super Nintendo, I got my Super Nintendo in 1992, I think. 1992, 1993, I think is when I got my Super Nintendo. No. It might have been... No, I think it was 1996, sorry. 1996. I didn't get my Nintendo until 1992. You stream Dick Tracy on the S. Oh, man, that's wild. That's wild. That is risky to try playing that game. That game is... oh, I already did this place. That's a difficult game to begin with. But it's so niche that it would be very, very hard to get people to watch it unless like they're into AVGN or whatever. But like that's a risky game for sure. So Lotto, I played the first GTA, the original top-down view of GTA. I didn't really play GTA like San Andreas, Vice City, any of those games. I played a little bit of GTA 3, but I never beat it. And then I didn't really play GTA again until GTA 5. I got GTA 4, and I played through a big chunk of it, but eventually I got bored and I stopped playing. But GTA has never been like a huge thing for me. It's kind of meh. It's not a bad game. It's just not... It's not a game that I get super excited about. Did I hear about the Super Mario 64 online mod? I've heard of multiple mods, and I know that there was an online mod that I heard about like a while back, but I haven't looked into it. Berserk, hello, how's it going? Sook, hello, nice to see you as well. Whoa, I appreciate you popping in. I keep going into the same room because I'm looking at chat as I'm wandering around, and then I don't know which way I'm going. Dang it. Normally play GTA 5 with friends. See, and I don't play that at all online. I have zero interest in playing that online. I do play it like single player, but just for the story. That's funny, Weewin. That's funny. But yes, Berserk, welcome. I am playing Ocarina of Time. We are doing the 3-heart challenge. So basically, I am working at getting through the game with only 3 hearts, and we just died. And now that I'm chatting, I'm disoriented. So that's how good I'm doing. It's also been like 5 years since I played this on stream, so I don't remember what I'm supposed to be doing for a lot of it. And so there's a lot of me wandering around confused. Oh, we already took half a hit, so we're just going to do it anyway. I can use heart potions. I can't use fairies in bottles. Whoa, come on. I was aiming at you. I've done the 3-heart challenge, but only with fairies in bottles. I'm not doing that this time because now I want it to legit be 3 hearts. The fairies in the bottle is great, but it technically gives you another heart or another set of hearts because you die and it brings you right back to life, and the fairy does refill all 3, right? So now I'm doing no fairies, which also means a lot more death. I can touch the fairies and get refilled. I just can't keep them. Come on, dude. Come on, dude. Okay, I'm just gonna do regular slices then. You gonna keep moving? Oh. Yeah, the Z targeting in this is horrible. A lot of the time. People complain about Navi being annoying. I don't care about her annoyance. I mean, she is annoying. But I'm more concerned with the fact that the Z targeting is so bad. It's so bad. That's interesting, Kiki. That's interesting. You played Dick Tracy because your friend, Captain Algebra, and I bought copies. That's cool. That's really cool. I've only ever tried Dick Tracy once. That same cousin that I was talking about earlier, he had a copy of it. He also had Friday the 13th. Apparently, he had really bad taste in games. And I tried it once, and I didn't understand it, so I never played it again. Mind you, at the time, we didn't really play the NES much. Him and I didn't really game together until the N64. Yeah. Yeah. The Z targeting is so much more of an effect on the game than her just annoying you once in a while. And it's so frustrating. The Jabu Jabu fight, the weird like tentacle squid thing that's in the belly, going around in circles trying to Z target and Navi's just not Z targeting was the worst. I died like 3 times because of that. Where I'd be Z targeted and all of a sudden she would just not Z target and I'd walk right into the spikes because it moved the camera slightly. Was this the first 3D game? Maybe. Maybe. Okay. "30 frames a second is rough, man. It's hard to do the fighting sometimes." Nico Balic is Serbian like you. Nice. Okay, now we can go into this room. I've never played Geometry Dash, so no, I haven't. Just go. Go, 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 go. This is like that room when we were playing Visage.
Does this work? Okay. The corridor. It's all twisted.
It's an illusion to make it look 3D. That's cool. I like when they do creative stuff like that.
Watch for the shadows monsters that hang from the ceiling.
Wait. I need another key and I don't have one. I'll get out of here. Oof. That freaky monster noise. No! That's funny, Waves. That's funny. To make the 3D level or to make the whole game, Kiki? Okay, so I'm missing another one. Oops. Ooh, and right into the guy. Okay. The level? Wow, that's a long time. It's a lot of dedication. I think that's the coolest part about the old school devs. A lot of the old developers, when they made games, they had to come up with ways to make things happen without being able to do them. Oops. And still convince you that it's doing what you think it's doing when it's not. It's like when they, you know, for Doom, they made it look 3D, but it wasn't like truly 3D, and like it was a weird scanning thing that they did to make it 3D. Or in like PT, when they did the camera break thing, and they realized that like the whole time that ghost character is following you from behind, and it's just behind the camera, so you can't see it at any time until you're supposed to. That way they don't have to like load the character in. And there's a lot of really, really cool techniques that devs use to do things. So like turning a 2D image into a 3D image without actually making it 3D. Like there's so many cool things. I don't think I can hit this one up here. Oops. Yeah. Just barely out of reach. I have not, but I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I've seen some really cool things being made on really old hardware. It always makes me so happy to see people do that kind of extra creative stuff. To watch people find ways to make things work in old hardware, but making it something that is modern. That's like, I would love to see Super Mario World, the SNES game, have a sequel with the same graphic style, the same mechanics and everything, but with the modern graphics, the modern like engines and the modern colors and how sharp resolution can be, and with what we know now about what makes a good game and what doesn't, and see what they could come up with. Or like this, to have this completely redone from the ground up. It'd be so cool. Oh, Eth, you have no idea how mind-blowing this was. You have no idea how mind-blowing this truly was when we were kids. Like you grow up in a time when it's always a flat screen or a flat world, a 2D world, and you don't know how wild and open the world can be when you introduce 3D to it. Hearing those little sounds of Link, hi, ha, those things like that, you know, we're used to like, you know, or when it screams like, oh, it sounds so crap. Having music continually playing in the background that sounds orchestral and there's more than just little chirps and chips. All of that is just out of this world. Being able to look down on stuff like this, like all of that makes your mind real in shock of like all these things that you can now achieve because it's in 3D. For me, the one thing I remember about this game that fully blew my mind. Like, it made me completely aware of how advanced everything was at this point. That was the signs in this game. When I first slashed a sign and the sign broke and then landed in the water and floated, that to me, I couldn't believe the game was capable of that. Because every other game up until now, like Super Nintendo, if you broke something, it had an animation of a broken version of it and it would just fly through the air and then disappear. Here it's slashed, and if you slashed up and down, it broke one way. If you slashed side to side, it broke another way. And it was still able to stay and then like float in the water if it hit the water. Like, that was extraordinary to see. If I do Super Mario World, I mean, I could. I did that for a while. A while back, I did Super Mario World, and I was trying to like beat every level and get through the whole game. I don't think I did. I think I ended up with like a weird glitch and I couldn't finish it. Something happened. Or maybe it was right around the time I had to stop streaming. I don't know. I can't remember anymore. I also know I tried to do it with Yoshi's Island, and I hated every minute of it because Yoshi's Island is great, but 100%ing that game, that is torture. That is tough. That is not fun. Man, nothing. Super real. They were. For us, they were. They looked better than like, it's hard to describe. It's especially because, like, I don't know how much exposure you had back in the day. But playing these games on this type of screen, because these are very high resolution screens, and the technology, the way that it works is different. So they look worse than they did back then, because these screens can show the jagged aliasing. It also doesn't blend the colors the way that old TVs did. And so it does look worse than it did to us back in the day. It's also the way that the screen refreshes is different. So you get different artifacts that come from the refreshing of the monitor constantly versus the old TVs, which felt smoother because of the way they were refreshing, not because it was better technology, but because the game was made to work with that kind of refreshing versus this. But to us, this looked awesome. I was talking to my brother just recently about how when we were kids, every time a new console came out, we would all talk about how cool the graphics would look. And going from the Nintendo to Super Nintendo was amazing to us. But going from Super Nintendo to the N64 or the PlayStation was crazy. You were negative 10 years, 4 months, and 11 days. Yeah, exactly. I had a Nintendo, but I didn't really play it much. Or an NES. I didn't really play it much. My first like console that I spent a lot of time with was the Super Nintendo. And yeah, jumping to this was crazy to see. And then I remember playing the PlayStation 1, because I was more a PlayStation person versus an N64 person. I remember playing the PlayStation 1 and then watching like Final Fantasy VIII and seeing the cutscenes and thinking it looked so realistic. And then when they announced the PlayStation 2, and back then it wasn't like it is now where, you know, E3 was something that like every kid watched. It was something that I didn't even know existed until way later. So I didn't know about those events. I just watched, like I just listened to my friends' rumors or watched magazines and stuff. And we would talk about the upcoming video games, and we would talk about like, oh, the PlayStation 2, when it comes out, the games are going to look as realistic as the cutscenes all the time. And then PlayStation 2 came out, and it looked better in some cases than the best cutscenes on the PlayStation 1. And then we're like, well, the PlayStation 3 is going to look, you know, like the cutscenes on the PS2 all the time. And now you look back at the cutscenes on the PS2, and the PS5 makes those look ridiculous. And I could never have imagined graphics looking the way that they do now. And it's like how far we've come. And it's heartbreaking to know that the current people playing games will not know what that ever feels like, because when we go from PS4 to PS5, the jump is not that big. From PS5 to PS6, it will not be that big of a jump. You'll never feel that excitement, and it's a real shame, because it was moments of just awe to see something that realistic in your mind. N64 was your first console? The jump from SNES to N64 was so insane. Yeah. Yeah, I was enthralled by it too. I remember playing Mario 64 at my cousin's house. And he would let me play and he'd be doing his own thing. And I would be playing Mario 64 and I wouldn't even be trying to play the level. I remember specifically playing Kuko Mountain or whatever it's called, the first snow mountain in Mario 64. And literally just jumping from up high to dig Mario into the snow head first. And just being blown away by the fact that Mario could get dug into the snow and then had an animation to get himself out. And like, that to me was insane. Playing Metal Gear Solid, walking around and seeing the footprints behind Snake. Like, that to me was out of this world. And I couldn't believe that that was possible. It was insane to see those things. Hearing voices, the first time I ever heard, "It's a me, Mario." I couldn't believe that that was in a video game and that we were playing it, that we were controlling that awesome 3D graphic. And that's not something that people can experience nowadays because, yeah, the PS4 doesn't look as good as the PS5 does. But it doesn't look that much better. It's like, yeah, ray tracing and higher resolution. It's like, cool. But that's it. That's all you get out of it. Whereas before it was like you're going from 2D and maybe a couple of really compressed voices to 3D with voices that at the time were uncompressed sounding, with what sounds like full orchestras playing the background music. And these kind of 3D battles where the camera moves around and you can look up and down. I remember being in these games and like looking at the ceiling, looking at all the details with the bricks and seeing how these bad guys looked. To me, all of that was out of this world. I had the Metal Gear Solid demo, and my brother and I probably put a good 20-25 hours into the demo, which you can beat in about 15 minutes. And we just played it for hours, just exploring every inch of whatever that facility is called, just to see every single inch of the game, to see every single bit. And it was the Japanese demo. It wasn't even the English demo. So we didn't even know what they were saying. Like, closed caption told us, but like, that's how enthralled we were with this 3D world. And now it's like, yeah, I go from PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5 and it's like, yeah, it looks really cool. But then that's as far as it goes. It's almost like the jump from playing a PS5 game to playing a PS5 game in VR. That shock of like, I can look and move my head and I can look closer and it's not a camera. I can just move my head to get closer. Like, that kind of amazement is something that just doesn't exist anymore, and it really sucks. It really, really sucks. All right, see you later, Ozzy. I didn't get that disc. I never got that disc, but I put a ridiculous amount of hours into Tony Hawk. So by the time I got into Tony Hawk's, I had a friend who was Vietnamese and had a lot of like, being Asian, had a lot of friends that were like Japanese and stuff. And he introduced me into the things that they were doing in like Japan and stuff. Cause he, through his friends, there's a place, I'm in Canada, there's a place about 4 hours away from me called Pacific Mall. It is a mall that is all like imported things from Japan, from China, mostly Japan. And that's where you would go to like get like the obscure colored PlayStations and the movies that were for some reason on weird looking discs without a box. And so you go to that place to do stuff. So he would do those things. And with his friends, they knew a lot of stuff that was going on. So that's where I learned about a thing that was like the Game Shark, but it was from Japan. And with using a little spring, you could do the disc swap with that thing, but without needing to like wait for the disc to slow down and time it right so you wouldn't ruin your little motor. It actually stopped the disc for you, and then you could swap the disc, and then you could play whatever you wanted. And that's how I played Tony Hawk. And I remember playing it with like the low gravity code. And so that way I could just do a billion tricks in the air, hours and hours and hours just doing tricks to see how high I could get my score every time. I friggin' loved it. Oh man, yeah, no, I didn't have access to that. I didn't get that. Mind you, being poor, we never ever went to Pizza Hut. I think my whole life I've eaten at Pizza Hut maybe 4 times ever. I've ordered in from Pizza Hut a couple of times, but I've only ever eaten out at Pizza Hut maybe 4 times. And like 2 of them were as like a grown adult. Or one was when I was about 17, it was my friend's birthday, so we went. And then another time it was me and a couple of friends as a grown adult. But like twice as a kid. So I didn't get access to that disc. That I missed out. I missed out because yeah. Oh. You got very good at those games. Yeah, I didn't get good at those games because I always used the low gravity code. But I thoroughly enjoyed those games. I was big into the Tony Hawk games. I loved Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2. And I just had so much fun with them, honestly. But Metal Gear was my big like demo game that I played an obscene amount. For me, it was just the coolest thing to play as a spy and be able to like shoot your gun and like hide and see them follow you around in the snow and have places to like sneak and stuff. Like all that to me was so cool. I remember I lent my friends Metal Gear and they gave it back to me the next day. And he's like, this is really boring. This game sucks. And he's like, you didn't tell me it was a top-down game. And I had never clued in that it was a top-down game. It didn't feel like a top-down game for me. And so, like, I was very shocked that he didn't like it because I was so obsessed with it. And I was like, how do you not like Metal Gear? And then for many years, I thought I was very, very unique for enjoying a game that nobody liked. Then later I found out that, no, Metal Gear is huge, just my friends didn't like it. They were unique for not liking it. Ooh, frame rate drop. I'll watch chat in just a second, folks. Give me just a sec here. Chat kills. Oh, he's gonna come back to life if I don't kill this guy. No! Dang it. Oh, I remember hearing about that. I remember hearing about that, Night Owl. That there's probably another Tony Hawk coming out. I would be very weary about it. Only because the last few Tony Hawk games didn't feel the same as the originals did. There's just something about the more modern ones that I haven't enjoyed, but I don't know if that's because now I'm an adult and I have to be a lot pickier about where I spend my time gaming. When back in the day, I was in high school and my friends and I would just hang out all weekend at one of our houses just playing video games, so we could just play whatever we wanted for as long as we wanted. So I don't know if that's maybe a part of it, but yeah, I definitely would be interested in trying a new Tony Hawk, see what they do with it. I've only played Tony Hawk as a kid. I was visiting Canada and they had it on the train to Vancouver. And you were obsessed? Yeah, Tony Hawk is fun. It's really fun. Nice, Kiki, nice. Yeah, I don't think I ever tried American Wasteland. Waves and Guns, what are you duding about? Are you duding about how I failed because I'm bad at this? Because I would say that's very fair. The latest one that came out, like the remake or whatever, I have it on my Switch. I only played for a few minutes and then I stopped. Not because it was like so terrible I needed to stop. I have a really bad habit of when I have access to certain things that No. That sounds like I'm talking about something dirty. No. I know a guy. His name is Mr. Retro for the third time. And if he were theoretically to allegedly have a modded console by, you know, a company that makes video games about like a plumber, he, not me at all, he allegedly, theoretically told me once that he, not me, has a very bad habit of downloading a bunch of games fully legitimately and then not playing them after downloading them because he, not me, is always looking for what else they could get. Allegedly. I was dude-ing about that death. Yeah. Don't worry about that. But yeah, I don't think I tried American Wasteland. But I've never tried any of the skate games, but you're not the first one to say that. I've heard multiple video creators in videos talking about how they're excited for the next Skate and how Skate was able to maintain whatever it was that Tony Hawk failed at when it came to like making you want to continue to play the game. Although from what I hear, Skate is much more technical, right? Like it's technically a harder game, and Tony Hawk was just a bit more arcadey in the way that it plays, is if I remember correctly. Can I do this? Uh-oh. I feel like there's got to be a way to like stun these dudes. Can I? Oh yeah, this pauses. This isn't what's it called? This isn't the Dark Souls. They did a remake, ETH, on handheld on the 3DS, but they changed a few things which people were not happy with. If I remember correctly, in this game, well, they did change the water temple to make it easier, because the water temple is the worst part of this whole game. They changed the water temple to make it easier, but there's something about the mechanics that are changed that people didn't like. I don't remember what it is. Maybe it's some of the AI and some of the bosses, and it made it easier. I can't remember. But there is a 3D version on the 3DS. Graphically, it's quite pretty. You can only play it on the 3DS, so you have to get your hands on one of those. I personally did like the 3DS version, but I'm a big sucker for 3D. So I played it and I loved it because it was in 3D. It's not a bad version to play, but this is available on the Switch on like the online Nintendo Online thing, and you can play it there. So technically that's a handheld version. Yes. I know that was a huge part because you have to keep equipping and unequipping your boots. Is that the only thing they changed in the water temple? I can't remember. For some reason, I feel like there's something else that they changed in the water temple to make it easier, but I don't know what it was. Was it like that they put a color over the doors that had like the levels, or I feel like they did something to make it easier to figure out what to do. I know in the Wind Waker, they changed how many pieces you need for that shard mission. But in Ocarina of Time, in Majora's Mask, they changed the way that you swim, which made it way worse. And yeah, the boots can be changed to the sea, which makes it way easier. But I can't remember if there was something else that they changed to make it a little bit easier. I don't know. Yeah, it's the subscription to get the Switch version on this. Yeah, I can't remember anymore. I played it. I didn't notice any major differences that like made me appalled, but I'm also not that kind of gamer that pays attention to those details. So even though it can be blatantly obvious that they changed some mechanic in it or AI in it or whatever, I am not the kind of person that really notices. And so I'm not a good judge to tell you whether or not that's a good thing. And Kiki, yes, I agree. I'm of the same thought. My friend who is doing it allegedly, theoretically, is not. That's not good. I am all for supporting, especially indie developers. The reason I did that is there are certain things as a creator that it helps to be able to have access to certain games, and I don't want to spend. I mean, my friend doesn't want to spend, you know, $100 to play the game for half an hour to make a video. Especially when games just keep getting more expensive when we're not getting any access to them. But yeah, no, everything else, that's why I'm playing this on real hardware. I actually purchased this game. I purchased the hardware. I am very much, I'm very much against that. Unless you can't get the game, like for like the PlayStation Vita or the 3DS. Then either way, the developers aren't getting the money because I'd have to pay a person who owns it the money, and that doesn't benefit them at all, like the developers at all. Okay, so now I gotta try to take these guys down low without killing them. I'm gonna get stabbed from behind. Okay, other guy. I'm concentrating, I'm sorry everybody. And I'm probably making weird faces, but I gotta concentrate. I can feel the pain in my hands of hitting the metal on metal. Come on, Navi. There. That was stressful. That was really stressful. You need the Plus subscription. Okay, that's what it is. It's not just the regular subscription, it's the Plus subscription. Yeah, the regular only gives you Nintendo and Super Nintendo, right? Or NES and Super Nintendo, right? Yeah, so that's a huge thing, is the boots, because they can now be switched on and off very, very easily. And here you have to keep pausing and switching, as you know, because you've done it already. But I want to say there was something else that they changed about the water temple, but I can't remember what it was anymore. I have no idea. Maybe it's like Navi gives you a hint to tell you, because there's a couple of things that are a little bit weird that make it a bit hard to figure out. I don't know. There's something that they changed. But it's not a bad version. Now, Majora's Mask, that one is a poor version on the 3DS. That's not a good version. And that dude makes bank. Oh man, you pay 40 euros. Yeah, I did have it. I turned it off because I barely use my Switch, so it's not worth the money for me. What was my first game I ever 100% in? Mario 64. And it wasn't until I was like a full-grown adult and was streaming. I don't like 100% in games at all. Like, not even a little bit. I was miserable by the end of Mario 64, 100% in that thing. Oh, that scared me. Okay. Got a message from TikTok and I was like, uh-oh, is it telling me that like I'm in trouble? But it's not. It's just telling me no one's talking because you suck. Maybe be better. Oh. I'm too close. Dude. Fine. But yeah, I had the subscription plus on the Nintendo, but I never, on like the Switch, but I never ever use it. So it was completely pointless to have. Oh, I have to fight him. It was like the PlayStation online. I was paying for that. I wasn't using it. My brother wants to stream together, and so I'll probably pay for it when he's ready for us to start playing together, but I'm not... I don't play online, so it's not even worth it for me. Yeah, that makes sense, Nikki. That makes sense. I tried to get into Animal Crossing because so many people talked about it. I was only interested for maybe an hour, and then I found it to be one of the most boring games ever. I did not like Animal Crossing at all. I thought it was horrendously boring. And I like survival games, but I just found Animal Crossing, like, ridiculously boring to play. My lips are all chapped. And you don't want it to end. That's how I started. So here's my background story. I started originally doing, so even a bit further than that. I went to school for theater. I was pursuing theater professionally. I was, doing as much as I could to get through and do stuff with it. But as things were starting to pick up, as things were going okay, I ended up needing to find a job. Like, I had jobs and stuff, but the one job that I was at, all of a sudden I lost all my hours, and it wasn't, I was doing healthcare, like home healthcare, and a bunch of my patients, they passed away or they went off to nursing homes. And so I went from like a full 35 to 40 hour week to like a 5-hour week, and I couldn't pay my bills. So I looked for a different job, and I found a job, and the job, I think it was when I got into selling cars, if I remember correctly. And the job just, it interfered with theater because, for shows, you're at the theater at 9 p.m. You're getting to the theater at 6 p.m., but you're on stage at 9 p.m. And I would have to work from like 3 p.m. till 10 or whatever. And so there was just no way I could do shows. So I decided to take a year off and save up money. My plan was save up a bunch of money, then live for a year with whatever money I saved and live like a pauper the whole time, like eating, $1 meals and not having any furniture. And like, I was going to live really impoverished with that in mind. So I didn't want to lose my practice because if you don't act or you don't sing on a regular basis, eventually you kind of lose it. And so in order to stay comfortable, I was looking for some way to create my own work. And one of the biggest criticisms I always got in my acting work was that I'm really bad in front of the camera because I'm very animated. But when you're doing like a proper serious film, the amount I move doesn't work. And so I was like, okay, I can work on being comfortable in front of the camera. I can work on script writing. I can work on directing. I can do my own stuff if I make YouTube videos. I really liked AVGN. I really liked the Happy Console Gamer. And at the time, I really liked the Completionist. I hated it once he switched over when when Greg left. But that was kind of my inspiration. But everybody was doing the Angry Gamer or the opposite, the Happy Gamer. So I was like, I'm going to do my own thing with like sketch comedy in it, a la Completionist back when Greg was still in it. But I was going to play games like what AVGN played that I had never played before. So I wouldn't have the anger and the bitterness to get mad at the game, but I also wouldn't be having the nostalgia to be happy about the games because I grew up so poor. I didn't play a lot of NES games. So I was going to play retro games for the first time, which is where I got the name Retro for the first time. I started doing that, but I would record for 4 or 5 hours to get enough information about the game so I can make my review. And eventually I was like, I'm recording for 4 or 5 hours. Why don't I go live for 4 or 5 hours so I can, at least do it, and then maybe somebody will find me and they'll want to hang out and then they'll want to watch my videos. I didn't really like the idea of streaming because in my mind, streaming was watching somebody else play a video game and that was it. Through happenstance, I found Ryukar, who's a big Mario Maker player, and then I realized that no, there's a lot more to streaming than just watching somebody play. There's a whole community, there's inside jokes, blah, blah, blah. So I started streaming. Through streaming, I ended up moving over to TikTok because TikTok was a way for me to promote my channel, and then my TikTok blew up. And so I was doing all that. But while I was streaming, the way my schedule worked was I streamed 4 days a week. 3 of the days I played Nintendo games. So it was Mario Kart, Mario Maker, and Zelda. And then one of the days was like more on my retro day, and my brother would come over and we would play retro games for 6 hours on stream. Eventually, he started liking streaming, so he began to stream. And then we turned it into once a week, him and I would play together online, so we moved over to playing Soulsborne games online. And so then for the last 7 years, whenever he was streaming and I was streaming, like when, because he stopped streaming now, we would always stream once a week Soulsborne games. And so we would put different challenges out and we would just play the game with that challenge in mind. So we did a lot of streaming together, but then he started his own business and now he doesn't stream at all. He hasn't streamed in like 2 years. But now he has a bit more time because his life changed a bit and he has a bit more time and he wants to kind of get back into it. He doesn't know if he can start streaming right away, but he does want to be involved. So he wants to be at his computer playing with me over voice chat. So we got to see if we can get it done. But yeah, I used to do it with him all the time and it was so much fun. Joseph, hello. It is Zelda Ocarina of Time. But yeah, it was a game changer playing with my brother because I'm able to goof off and talk to him. Now, the downside is I ignore chat more, not because I want to, but because him and I are talking the whole time, figuring out what we're supposed to do. And so I just forget about chat. And so we end up not doing enough for the audience. But then they get to watch us like talk and goof off. And as you saw, I paused and just talked for a good 5 minutes. I don't do that as often when I'm playing with my brother. So it allows the game to also move forward at a quicker pace. So there's a few things that are a benefit when it comes to streaming with him. No problem, Joseph. No problem. I'm sorry I took so long to answer. I was in the middle of my story. I wasn't paying attention. But yes, we were playing Ocarina of Time. I'm doing a 3-heart challenge, which means I don't know if you've ever played this game, Joseph, because if I remember, you're kind of young. This game, every time you beat a boss, you get a heart container, and the heart container makes you have more health. But if I don't pick up the heart container, I stick with 3 hearts. So I'm doing the game without picking up any heart containers, so I can only have 3 hearts, which means it'll be really, really easy for me to die, which I've already died like 4 times. And it's just to see if I can beat the game at a harder difficulty. How many times have I died? I know I died once last stream. Did I just die twice today, or have I died 3 times? I want to say I've died twice today, right? Twice today and once yesterday, so that's 4 deaths in total. Maybe I should start a counter so we can, like, know how many times I died by the end of the run. Yeah, you've seen 2 deaths? Okay, so then... And I died once last time. No, I died more because it wasn't last time, it was the time before. Lord Jabu Jabu, I died a whole bunch there. I gotta see, I'm gonna have to go back and count. That's gonna be tough because it's like a 3-hour stream. I think I died 3 times at Lord Jabu Jabu. Damn it, I wish I would have started a counter. I didn't even think about it. Didn't even think about it. I'm gonna have to try to remember to go back and count so I can see how many deaths we got, because it would be nice to see how many times I died by the end of this challenge. But yeah, Joseph, it's makes it harder. There is a master mode in this game. I wish I had the master quest version, because that would make this game much harder, and then doing a 3-heart challenge with that would be really fun, but I don't have that version. I only have the one that has the collection. So this is an N64 game, but I am playing on the GameCube version, which was released when they announced the Wind Waker. They had this package, and I'm pretty sure you only got it by pre-ordering. Was it you only got it for pre-ordering, or you only got it with a mail-in thing? I don't know. There was something special about the collection. So it's the collection, but I'm using a Wii to play it. So it's an N64 game, but it's the GameCube version, but I'm using a Wii. Okay, so I'm going to say that I got 2 deaths here, and I think 3 in the last run, so 5 deaths total? 5 deaths total, maybe? I'm gonna stick with 5 now. I'll go back and re-watch it later. And if we find out there was more, I'll hopefully count them all and we'll have more. Oh, the keyboard is unplugged. Dang it. I can't even do anything with it. I mean, I could just do this. 5. I have my mouse that can let me put numbers in, so I'm just gonna put 5. Where did it put it? In the corner. In the corner. I'll have to type it in later. No, it's okay, Joseph. I'm gonna keep them on screen so that way we at least have them. Okay, well, at least you're negative for COVID, so that's good. Be very careful, Eth. Like, to keep an eye on how you're feeling, because there are major concerns about a specific bird flu that has seemed to cross the animal-human barrier, and there are concerns of it spreading incredibly quickly. I'm not saying that's what you have. Just be mindful of how you're feeling, and don't ignore if you don't feel well. It is, but that's the one that they have found. There are a lot of people who feel sick and don't go to the doctors and get tested. Or there are a lot of people who feel sick and the doctors test for certain things, but not everything because they didn't get sick enough. So it's not that the doctors are ignoring it, but more along the lines of they just aren't checking it because you don't feel bad. So that's how things spread. Kind of like how you went to the dance because you weren't feeling that bad. It's kind of the same thing. So just keep an eye on that you're feeling okay. Nintendo's integrated as Apple, right? And the funny thing is, this is the GameCube controller that they made for the thing that they released for the Switch when they did Smash Bros. So it's like super like convoluted, the whole thing. So I think that was the boss key we picked up, right? If I know I saw an area that I have to shoot with an arrow. Can't remember where it was, but I know I saw it. Is it over here? Yeah, I think so. It is a meme. It is a meme. Which is what makes it funny for me, because to me it's just a regular sound, but to you guys it's a meme. Okay, I think that was it. So let's get out of here. Oh, I'm suddenly really tired. Like in real life, all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I could just close my eyes and fall asleep right now. It's so sensitive. Dang it. Come on. Don't be so sensitive. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. It's like I worked in nursing for so long. In nursing care, I wasn't a nurse. I was in school to be a nurse, and I was a semester away from being a nurse. And it's so frustrating. But yeah, that's exactly it. It's like they're mostly gonna look for what they know to look for. They're not going to look for things that they're not expecting to find. And then when you include human nature into that, you know, because people, I'm okay. I'm just feeling a little bit under the weather. I'll be fine. Well, then they go and then they spread a bunch of stuff. And then 2 days later, they feel really, really sick. And it's like, yeah, you should have not gone to that event when you were feeling a little bit under the weather, because now you've spread it. Now some other person is going to spread it because they're going to feel a little bit under the weather and do their thing too. And then by the time the first person who might have had something that was new or something that was a lot stronger than they thought, by the time they get discovered, well, they've already spread it to one person who's already spread it to 5 people who've each spread it to another 5 people. But the doctors are only going to find 3 of them. And it just, all of a sudden, they realize that there are 1,000 people infected when they originally were only thinking about the 5 that the first guy talked to. It's a whole thing. It's so easy to completely get out of whack without realizing it. I did sleep well. I'm just tired. I've been on the go for many days now, and I just want to sleep. I just want to rest and do nothing. Just want to rest and do nothing. I'm supposed to be getting a package, and it has never arrived, and I don't know why it hasn't. I'm also supposed to be getting an email, or I mean, I'm also hopeful I'll be getting an email, which doesn't look like I'm going to. Yeah, nope. Now I'm confused. Some people are ETH. Whoa. Waves and Guns, thank you so much for joining the Retro Squad. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Some people are just contrarians. Some people just don't understand how things work. Some people don't have the education and they just listen to somebody who sells a good story online. And so the person who tells them how it works dumbs it down in a way that they feel like they understand what they're talking about. And when they try to listen to medical professionals, they realize that the medical professional talks in a way they don't understand. And then they can't accept that they maybe don't understand it, and they take offense to it. And it's like, there's not much we can do about that. And then there are people that just literally do not want to be bothered. Like that they don't, if it doesn't affect them, they don't care. What the heck? I'm so confused. You like the Zelda scream? Yeah, it is pretty cool. What did I say? Waves and Guns? Did I say Waves and Guns? Sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. Because I read Waves N and then I see the G and I just jump to Guns. And I don't know why. There's got to be some other title I'm thinking about that is something in Guns, and I'm just jumping to that conclusion. I apologize. I apologize. I don't remember where I'm supposed to freaking go. I've got a key though, so there's got to be a door somewhere that I haven't gone through. But thank you for the subscription. Thank you for joining our little family here. Oh, it was in the yeah, I think it was wherever I found the compass, I think. Wherever that is. I know, right? I'm not even American. And that's where I'm jumping to. Not even American. Even now, I was reading in my head what you had said because I want to make sure I didn't miss any messages. And in my own head, I was like, waves and guns. I was like, no, it's not waves and guns. In the message where you're saying, haha, it's waves and games, I read, haha, it's waves and guns. They've infiltrated all the ads from the States have infiltrated into Canada. Maybe it's Guns N' Roses. It might be Guns N' Roses that like is making me jump to that. Maybe. I mean, I wouldn't put it past myself. And yes, Joseph, Zelda has come a long way from this. Zelda has come a very, very long way from this. Although there are things from this that I prefer, that I don't like on the new Zeldas. Like, I miss these old style temples that don't exist anymore, but they exist here. But the new Zeldas have more of the open world, and it doesn't have these kind of temples where you get like unique items that you can like upgrade with or whatever. I miss that. Whoa. Ow. This is the door back to the main area, right? But I've said this a few times. I would love to see this game remastered properly, not just like what they did in the 3D version where it's like it's pretty, but it's the exact same game with the exact same everything. I want it to be like Resident Evil 2 was, where it's like it's the same story, it's the overall same locations, but everything is reworked, so nothing looks the same. Nothing is in the exact same spot. There is no... Oh... No. I pushed it. It was just too slow. The only thing they should bring back is the OG chest opening. No, there's a lot they should bring back from these. Yeah, man, the freaking hand. The freaking hand. I don't remember what I was saying now. I don't remember what I was saying anymore. Wow, I really don't remember what I was saying. My lips are so friggin' chapped. Oh, the remake of this. Yeah, how Resident Evil 2, it's like they had the same beats. Like you start in the city, you go through the gun shop, you go into the police station, then into the facility, back to the police station, then back to the facility, and then the game's over. I wish they would do the same here, where it's like, yes, you're going to visit the water temple, the forest temple, the Death Mountain, all that kind of stuff. But then redo everything. Use the same plot points, where you have to travel back in time and forward in time, but then redo it from scratch, full remake. I would love to see this game fully redone like that. Because the Resident Evil 2 remake was out of this world in how like true it was to the original story, but how new it felt as well. And I wish they would do that with this. I wish I could see that with like the newer graphics and the newer mechanics, but still visit this whole world. Like when you're in Hyrule Field, it's so empty. I would love to see this game with like a busy Hyrule Field the way that Breath of the Wild is. Oh, this game remade would be so cool. It would be so cool. Yeah, you want to see that too? Ow! That is a fairy. So there are these little like spirit people that live in the forest, and we were raised by them. And each one of them, when they become of a certain age, they get a fairy for themselves that protects them and guides them and everything. And we never got one. But then the spirit, like the head spirit of that temple, of the little village, sent this fairy to us, and then told the fairy that it has to stay with us and protect us so we can save the world. So she's just a little fairy that helps us. I haven't seen the Unreal Engine 5 actually. I've seen the Unreal Engine 2 or 4 version. I don't know where 2 came from. I've seen the Unreal Engine 2 version. Or again 2. Unreal Engine 4 version. I've seen that version, and there's just, oh man, there's just so much that I want to see them do with this game, because I love this story. I love this theme. And it's such a good game, and I hate that there's not a modern version of this, honestly. I'm not a huge fan of Breath of the Wild. I don't think it's a bad game by any means. It's just, for me, the least fun game from the group of amazing games. So it's still a good game. It's just not my favorite. And I like how it looks. I would love to see this game with that kind of treatment. Ugh. It makes me so jealous that we don't have that. It makes you happy every time. Oh, where the heck did I... I can't remember for the life of me where we got the arrows, the bow from. Yeah, sleep apnea and Breath of the Wild makes you fall asleep. Yep. I played through it, and I liked it when I played through it. But a big part of that was it was like the only real big game for the Switch that was available. Stop it. The only real big game that was available for the Switch. And so it was a situation of, I don't think it's this way though. Hearts? No. It was a situation of, I'll get through the parts I don't like because it's a new console and I want to play the new console. But yeah, no, Breath of the Wild is just not my thing. I'm not a big fan of Breath of the Wild. I don't hate it, but it's definitely not on the list of games that I'm like, I need to replay this. Ocarina of Time, Breath of the Wild, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, what's it called? Skyward Sword, Wind Waker. Those ones are games that I always want to play again. Yeah, Joseph, I don't need them. I'm already full. That's why I didn't get it. And I also have sleep apnea. So I know exactly what you mean. With like, if the game can put you asleep, that's a pretty big deal. But yeah, Ocarina of Time is just, it's such a good game. I prefer Majora's Mask. I actually like Majora's Mask better than Ocarina of Time, but I'm playing Ocarina of Time because I do want to do the 3-heart challenge on as many Zelda games as I can. What is sleep apnea? You stop breathing when you're asleep. No, not here either. What the heck? Come here. Come here. Fill my health. Fill my health. Dude. I swear I walked into that thing twice. And now it's gone. Oh, there it is. No, come back. It can be. It can be dangerous. It's dangerous, but not in the way of like, I'm gonna die in my sleep because of it, guaranteed. It's dangerous because not sleeping well is very bad for your health, and it can cause other problems because you're not sleeping well. And it's also sometimes, not always, sometimes a symptom of other things. So like somebody who is heavier, like more overweight, will more likely have sleep apnea because their weight makes it hard to breathe when they're sleeping. Someone like me, I have heart problems. And the sleep apnea does not help my heart problems, but I stop breathing for no reason. I am heavier now, but I'm not like quite heavy enough for sleep apnea to really be a thing that I should have, but I do. So it can be dangerous because it could lead to like high blood pressure. It can lead to, you know, issues with like being tired and falling asleep when you're supposed to be awake. I probably didn't touch it. Waves, that would be my guess. But yeah, having sleep apnea is not a big deal. A lot of people have it. Like a lot of people have it. But knowing you have it and getting it treated can be a huge life changer. Okay, I honestly don't remember where I'm supposed to go, so I'm gonna try up here again. No, that just led me here. You only know by somebody else telling you you have it. I mean, some people do wake up enough that they know they have it, but most people don't realize they have it. Somebody else has to tell you. But you're young. You're not going to have sleep apnea at your age unless you're like very, very, very big. When you're young, it's not really a big deal. It doesn't really kick in until you're much older. This is the same door I went to earlier, though. Dude! Dude! I am so disoriented right now. Yes, there we go. I have not, Kiki. I have not. That was the same thing for me. I was with somebody for almost 10 years. We were together for like 8, I think. And she told me. She was like, do you know you stop breathing when you sleep? And I was like, no. She's like, because she was always asleep before me, so she had never noticed. And then out of nowhere, I guess one night she just couldn't sleep, and then she turned over to me and I wasn't breathing. And so she got really, really scared that she thought something happened to me. And so she's like, do you know you stop breathing? And I was like, no. And she's like, yeah, you stop breathing when you're asleep. And I had been struggling with being exhausted all the time. Like, I'm tired all the time now because I work night shift. But back then, it's like I could sleep 8 hours at night, be up for an hour and go for another 3-hour nap, be up for another hour and sleep another 3-hour nap. And I just never had energy. And it was horrible. But I just thought it was just I'm not sleeping well. And that was it. I was also very, very, very sensitive when I was sleeping. Like, everything woke me up. And so it was just annoying. And then when she said that, I was talking to the doctor. I had blood pressure issues and whatever. And when I was talking to the doctor, I told him about that. And he's like, okay, let's put you in for a sleep test. And then that's when I found out. Now, mine isn't severe. He was like, you know, a severe case is hundreds of times a night you stop breathing. He said, I think he said I stopped breathing 110 times or something. And he's like, that's on the lower end. He's like, it's still disturbing you, but it's not quite severe. But now that I've got a mask, like I sleep a solid 6 hours, which still isn't enough. I sleep a solid 6 hours and it feels better than when I slept 12 hours before. And now I sleep 6 hours, I wake up and I usually fall back asleep for another 2 or 3 hours. So I'm getting like 7, 8 hours of sleep every single night, no problem. And it's quite nice. It's a big game changer for me. I'm just sensitive when I'm awake. Oh, me too. My fiance makes fun of me. She doesn't actually make fun of me, but she says I'm a big sap. But yeah, it was weird, but it also made sense. Like I didn't snore. I don't really snore. I might snore a little bit now. I don't know. Now that I've been using a CPAP machine for so long, I don't know if now I would snore if I didn't have one on. But I wasn't a big snorer, so I didn't know because I didn't snore. What I did do was that I would moan, and I did know that because I woke myself up moaning all the time. But it wasn't like a ooh moaning. It was I'd go and that would wake me up. And so that was when I wouldn't breathe. The groan would wake me up. Groan's a better word. I would groan. The groan would wake me up. But that's the only noise that I ever knew that I made. So I didn't realize that that was because I wasn't breathing. And now none of that's an issue because I wear a mask and no groaning. I don't wake myself up. My neighbors wake me up because they're really loud, but I don't wake myself up, and now I can sleep through the night without any major issues, which is really nice. But it took a long time to get used to it. Yeah, and like alarms wake me up and stuff, but before it used to be to the point where like if somebody was outside and they happened to laugh and it was loud enough to come into the room, that would wake me up. Now it's like I can sleep through quite a bit. Like I said, my neighbors are really loud, so they wake me up, but they're like obscenely loud. They slam doors and yell at each other and stuff, so that wakes me up. But now I can sleep 8 hours and it's fine. Like if I lay down, when I put my mask on, I'm tired right now though. When I put my mask on, I can fall asleep within 15 minutes, which is really nice. It's really, really nice to fall asleep that fast.
Watch out for the shadows of the monsters that hang from the ceiling.
You already told me that, Navi. Why would you tell me that again? Now the only downside with the sleep apnea is if I want to sleep anywhere, I have to bring it with me, or I'm going to sleep badly and I know I'm going to be exhausted the next day. And that's a pain in the butt to try to like make sure I either have my mask or that I try to figure out a way to like not be so exhausted that the trip is ruined for me if we go somewhere. Maybe? I don't actually know. I'm going to try. Yeah, I don't actually know if I can use the hook shot. I want to say no, but maybe. It might pull them towards me. Yeah, it freezes them. Okay. The hook shot's just slow. So it misses often. Stop it. There we go. Your neighbor walks like the elephant. I have no idea, Kiki. I have no idea. I don't really speed run, so I don't know how any of that works. So I couldn't tell you. Oh, this is that room that's like falls on top of you. Yeah, I know. I just watched it fall. I just watched it fall. Oh, 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 move, move. We're gonna die. Really? Yes. Yeah, it'll probably save me some hearts. You're right. You're definitely right. Where's next? Where's next? Right here. Uh-oh. Move, don't push me. To the end. There we go. This is a puzzle, right? Oh, I remember. I'm so bad at this. I got lucky. These are pretty easy. Just put the wrong one there. It shouldn't be there. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yeah, I just mean I don't know anything about the speed trial or the speed run community when you like submit stuff. I don't know anything about that. I know how the speed runs work for that game. I just don't know how like they judge it or like what would make them take so long or if it's normal that they take that long. Like I don't know any of that. Come on, dude. Wake up. Oh no. Okay. Yeah. So like right now it is 4 o'clock. It's 4 o'clock for me. I normally aim to start between like 1:30 and 2 my time. And I stream every Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday. So I don't know what time zone you're in, but I've been live now for 2 hours. And then it's Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday. It's going to be a little bit wonky for a bit because I'm in a musical and we're rehearsing. And so I'm probably going to be cutting my streams off early on nights that I have to be at rehearsal all night. For example, tonight I have to be there all evening. So I'm probably going to stop as soon as this temple's done if I can beat it. Unless I run out of time. I mean, it's 4. I have to be done within the hour so I can have dinner and then head out. It's 10 a.m. for you. I don't do sports. No, I don't like sports. So just an hour behind. Okay, okay. I'm going to be doing the Drowsy Chaperone. I had never heard of it. It's basically like a couple is getting married and they have to put on a musical. But if they get married, the woman doesn't want to do the show anymore, apparently, is from what I've gathered. So the producer needs her to stay in the show so the show is a success because I guess the mob is after him. And if it fails, he dies. And so then I play one of the gangsters, but we're like bumbling idiots. We're pretending to be pastry chefs, but we're gangsters. And then, yeah, so like we're there to make sure he doesn't fail and he has to make her not get married so she stays in the show. and there's another guy that's been hired that's supposed to be like the romantic lover, but he's a complete bumbling idiot, and he's supposed to make her fall in love. And like there's a whole mess of people. There's an old lady who doesn't know what's going on at all, but they're putting on a show. So the play also has a play in it, and so like we're playing our characters, but there's also like actors in the show. So it's really convoluted, but it's like all goofy music. It's all dopey stuff. It's pretty funny. Nice, Joseph. Nice. Yes, it's 10 for Nikki. Nikki's in Europe, so she has a much later time. Oh, I got that one right. Nice. Katra Cooper, hello. I don't think I said hi to you, but hello. It is. It's very silly and it's really funny, and none of it is meant to be taken seriously. Like I've done other musicals where like they're funny comedies, but they have moments where they're funny, but there's also like serious stuff that happens in them. This is just all goofy. Like all of it is goofy. And I don't know if any of you, I know some of you are going to be old enough too. I don't know if other ones are old enough to have seen it, but I don't know if any of you have seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit, or even kind of like on The Simpsons, the mob, and there's like the actual guy who's scary, but then the other ones that are kind of just dumb mobsters. We're that. We're like the dumb mobsters. It's me and one other guy, and we finish each other's sentences. We're supposed to try to be scary, but we're dumb, so it's not scary. We're just kind of funny with how dumb we are. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good time, and it's like old 1930s jazz music for a lot of it, so it should be cool. Yeah, I definitely like the comedy musicals better. The last one I did was also a comedy. I played the bad guy, and the comedy in my bad guy was that I was so serious and the things I was saying were so gross and bad. But it was also funny because everybody made me look like an idiot the whole time. So that was a fun show. No, we don't finish each other's sandwiches. Is that from what? What movie is that from? I know I can even hear the music. Can't remember what that's from, but I do know the music. But yeah, I enjoy musicals, and this one's gonna be fun. I don't have a lot of lines. I do a lot of like backup singing and stuff, so there's not a lot of crazy stuff that I have to be doing, which is nice. So it's not gonna be super exhausting for me. I would have liked to play the dumb romantic dude. I mean, I would have loved to play the lead romantic guy, but I wanted to play the guy who's supposed to seduce the woman that's getting married, because that would have been a really fun role to play, but it went to another guy who did it much better than I did. He fully deserves it. You know from a show, Arrested Development. Okay. There's a musical where that happens. Or maybe I might even be thinking of a TikTok that did what the musical, like there was a musical and then the TikTok did it. I don't know. I can't remember anymore. I don't know. My brain is mush. Is it Frozen? Do they say sandwiches in Frozen? Or do they just say, I love how we finish each other's sentences, and then somebody else threw sandwiches as like a meme on TikTok? DB Lover, hello, nice to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. But yeah, it's a ridiculous show. Now I'm confused. Oh, there's one over there. Whoops. Yeah, it makes me, we finish each other's sentences, but like what he repeats doesn't add anything to the game, to what I'm saying. because I don't know my lines yet, but it'll be like, it'd be a shame if you ate something that didn't sit well with you. And then he would repeat, yeah, because it ain't food. We kind of figured that's what he meant. All right, here we go. They say it in Frozen. Yes, because Frozen would be much newer than Arrested Development, so it would be a reference to Arrested Development. I knew it from Frozen, but that's because I didn't watch Arrested Development. I really dislike Michael Cera, so I didn't watch it. He was in that, right? That's the show he was in, right? All right, here we go. Concentration time. Oh, I'm gonna die immediately. I'm gonna die immediately. This isn't good. This boss fight freaks me out. I have no idea, Joseph. I have no idea. Here we go. The camera angle, man. The camera angle. Ah, that was a good camera angle, too. The camera angle was good, too. That was just all me. That wasn't even a bad camera angle. The other ones were bad, and I got them. And the good one, I failed. No, it is a good boss fight. I'm just bad at it. I'm just really bad at this one. That's the boss fight that I always die multiple times, even when I'm not doing 3 hearts, because I'm just bad at the timing. His name's Link. He is not Zelda, but he looks that way because that's how N64 was made. They did not have good faces. Is it my package yet? Like, can you message me with my package, please? Nope, it's just going off for no reason. Please email me. Tell me you want to see me dance. I'd be so happy to dance. I don't think it's happening. Yeah. It's very, very, very tough when you've basically got 2 hits and then you're dead. Katra, does the bottle actually make it easier? Yes, Kiki. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't care about other people. Like I don't care that there's another guy that's on emulators. I don't care. All right, Joseph, have yourself a good night. All right, I'm gonna try one more time with the regular sword, but if the bottle makes it easier, what is it that makes it easier? Uh-oh. Dang it. I didn't see him at all. What is it that makes it easier? Like, is it that the hitbox is now closer, or is it because the hitbox is bigger when you're using the bottle? Oh, I hit him. I somehow hit him. I thought I maybe could run away, but... Oh, that went down. I couldn't see it. Okay. Yeah, no, you're not the only person I've heard say that you can defeat him with a bottle. I just didn't know if it was like here's a fun thing or it actually makes it easier. I'll try the bottle. I'll try the bottle. We'll see what happens. Because with 3 hearts, this is a pain. It's a pain. So if I can make it a bit easier, I mean, it would be helpful if I had potions in it. Yeah, maybe we'll find out. Kiki, I don't normally stream Minecraft, so it's not something that I'm planning to do anytime soon. I only stream Minecraft when I really have work to do and I need to stream too. But Minecraft isn't something I normally stream. I have my channel with Minecraft is the only place I try to do Minecraft. And like I've done the 3 heart challenge twice before for this game, but I also did it with fairies in bottles, and I'm not doing it that way this time. So now I get punished a lot easier. Yeah, Kiki, I don't really like streaming Minecraft. Not because I don't like the game. This channel I want it to be different than my Minecraft channel. But I'm hoping eventually I will be streaming Minecraft on that other channel. I just don't have time right now to do that. Yeah, that's what I'm doing now is oh, you should try with no fairies. I thought you were telling me to try. I was like, no, that's what I'm doing right now is no fairies. Yeah, it's because I didn't come up with this logic to it, but somebody else popped in and had suggested no fairies, and the reasoning was that by having fairies, you're actually giving yourself more than 3 hearts because it brings you back to life if you die and it refills your hearts, right? So if you have 3 bottles, 4 bottles, oh, okay, that did not work. If you have 4 bottles, let's say, you are technically giving yourself 12 hearts. Whereas here, I only have 3 hearts, period. No other hearts at all. If I die, I die. Which makes it way more difficult to try to achieve it, because now I don't have the risk of, oh, I got hit twice, I'm back to life, and I have another 3 hearts. Instead, you get hit twice, you die, and you have to go all the way back. Oh. Whoa, that was a lot of hits. Stop messing with my camera angle, dude. I can't see. Oh, that was really tough. Oh, that last one was so fast. That last one was so fast. Woo. Woo. Hey, kid.
No, hey, kid, you did well. It looks like you may be gaining power. But you have defeated only my phantom. When you fight the real me, it won't be so easy. What a worthless creation that ghost was. I will banish it to the gap between dimensions.
That wasn't the voice. It was going. I couldn't stop it from scrolling, so I needed any voice.
This was the voice. Oh well.
Whew, thank you for the GGs, everybody. Oh. That last one, I don't know. It felt like it was really fast all of a sudden. Oh my god, I didn't even think about it. I didn't even think about it. I didn't get it, right? No, I didn't get it. I don't think I did. Did I get it? No, I didn't get it, right? Please tell me I didn't get it. I wasn't thinking about it. I did that once in the water temple. I did that. And I was furious by the end of it. I was furious by the end of that. Please let me, okay, good. I don't know what voice I gave her before, so we're gonna go with this.
Thank you. Because of you, I could awaken as a sage. I am Saria, the sage of the Forest Temple. I always believed that you would come because I know you. No, you don't have to explain to me because it is my destiny that you and I can't live in the same world. I will stay here as the forest sage and help you. Now, please take this medallion.
Thank you, Lotto. Thank you. Yeah, I felt it was really, really fast too. That last one I almost missed. It was really close to me. It was gonna kill me. I'm just glad I got through it. Oh, that was intense. Oh, that took the whole stream. You received the Forest Medallion. Saria awakens as a sage and adds her power to yours. Saria will always be your friend. I know, right? Rip Saria. Okay. Oh, thank goodness, waves. Thank goodness. Oh, that would have been scary. That happened in the water temple the last time I did this, and I was so mad.
Hi there, I'm the Deco Tree Sprout. Because you and Saria broke the curse on the Forest Temple, I could grow and flourish. Thanks a lot. Hey, have you seen your old friends? None of them recognized you with your grown-up body, did they? That's because the Kokiri never grow up. Even after 7 years, they're still kids. You must be wondering why only you have grown up. Well, as you might have already guessed, you are not a Kokiri. You are actually a Hylian. I am happy to finally reveal this secret to you. Some time ago, before the King of Hyrule unified this country, there was a fierce war in our land. One day, to escape from the fires of war, the Hylian mother and her baby boy entered this forbidden forest. The mother was gravely injured. Her only choice was to entrust the child to the Deku Tree, the guardian spirit of the forest. The Deku Tree could sense that there was a child of destiny whose fate would affect the entire world, so he took him into the forest. After the mother passed away, the baby was raised by a Kokiri, and now, finally the day of destiny has come. You are a Hylian, and were always bound to leave this forest. And now you have learned your own destiny, so you know what you must do. That's right, you must save the land of Hyrule. Now, Link, break the curses on all of the temples and return peace to Hyrule.
That was not the voice I intended to go for, but I liked it, so I stuck with it. Right? They just didn't want to do a bunch of character models. They're like, it's good enough. But yeah, when I was doing the water temple, I finished it, and the worst part was I did it from beginning to end, and I never saved. And then I finished it. And the thing is, the way that it ended, like the camera was all close up, like it was, I could probably do it against the wall. Shut up. It was like this, and the heart was where the camera was. And so I pressed forward because the portal wasn't behind me, and I walked right into the heart. And I was so mad because I hadn't saved. And when I loaded the save file, it fully was at the beginning of the water temple. Like I hadn't even gotten to the water temple yet. I had to do that part and then get into it. And like this, it had eaten up the whole stream. So I was furious. Not to mention, because I'm using the Wii, and the Wii that I bought, the power button's broken and the reset button's broken. So the only way to actually do anything with it was by unplugging the Wii, plugging it back in, going through the Wii menu, like all of that. I was livid. So annoyed at myself because I hadn't saved. No, I hadn't heard about that, Kiki. That's cool. Exactly. That was the thing. It's like any other temple, I'd be annoyed, but it's like, fine, no big deal. But it had to be the water temple, and it's like, no, why? Why the water temple? Of all the temples, the most annoying one of all of them. It was, oh, I was mad. I was so mad. It was not what I wanted to happen, but it did, and there was nothing I could do about it at that point. And you just do what you need to do. Is the music just not working, or am I just not hearing it? Maybe I'm just not hearing it. Do you guys hear it? Yeah, there's music. It's just quiet. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, I have to be finished now because I gotta rest my voice before I go rehearse today because we're reading the whole play. I also need to make dinner and get back to working on my Minecraft video. I didn't get to do that last night. I have to do it tonight. But yeah, that is pretty much it from me. If you really enjoy what you were watching, if you like my energy, this is how I game. I'm not like this supreme gamer. You're not going to get like awesome clips. You're not going to see me yelling and screaming and raging. My stream is very much about just chatting and hanging out. I will be back on Friday. Zelda is only on Tuesdays right now. Mondays, we are playing Elden Ring. I just finished Visage, however you want to say it, on Friday. So now I have to find another scary game. I have been playing through the Callisto Protocol, but I don't know if I want to continue with that game because it seems like nobody's really interested in it. And it runs the risk of me getting banned on TikTok because TikTok does not like games like that. So I'm going to try to find a different scary game to play on Friday. But Fridays are usually my scary day. And I haven't chosen anything for Saturday. So I'm still on the fence on what I'm going to do on Saturdays. So we'll see where that goes. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, I will be back on Friday. Yeah, Lotto, I will be back on Tuesday for another Zelda stream. Yeah, I have no idea what I'll be playing on Friday. But if you want to see something where I get scared, maybe, depending on the game I'm playing, then yeah, come hang out on Friday. If I can't find a scary game, maybe I'll just pick a different style of game. I don't know yet. We'll see what I'm in the mood for. But everybody else, I really appreciate you all hanging out. I appreciate you spending the time to come hang out and chat with me and watch me fail miserably at this game over and over and over again. And yeah, if you want to see my other socials, I'm on TikTok, which is my biggest group. And I do a lot of like gaming news, gaming fun facts, sometimes like hardware reviews or streaming tips, depending on what I'm feeling like that day. And I'm also on Instagram and YouTube and Twitch, depending on what platform you're on, because I'm live on YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok right now. So whatever platform you're on, I'm also on those other platforms. But that's everything for me. Thank you all for hanging out. I really appreciate all your love and the support, and I will see you in a few days. All right, take care, everybody. Have a good rest of your week, and see you later.